Nation, every time I post something unflattering about Pierre Poilievre and the band of know-nothing sitting with him in Canada's alt-fascist official opposition, some lardhead out there accuses me of being a liberal. Well, let me tell you something, lardheads. I was a card-carrying conservative before most of you mouth-breathing incels were even born. And not only was I a member, I schlepped to campaign and policy wonk for them. I was boots on the ground, bucko. And let me be very clear about this. I want a conservative alternative to the Liberals in Canada, just as I want an alternative to the Keystone Cops revolving door of conservative parties that have been running Alberta like a private party yacht for 90 of the last 95 years. But unlike Pierre Poilievre, I am actually a true Tory. A conservative who believes fiscal responsibility means you do not give tax breaks until after the debt is reduced. Because if you've got a surplus, then you have a moral responsibility to pay off the burden future Canadians will face. What too many voters fail to realize is Pierre Poilievre is not a conservative. He's the illegitimate spawn of Preston Manning's Reform Party. So was Aaron O'Toole, Andrew Scheer, Lisa Raitt, Michelle Rempel, and the man who is creepier than any mass-murdering child molester you've ever heard of in history, St. Albert's own Michael Cooper. The Reform Party is about as conservative as Pepsi would be if it took over Coke and slapped new Coke banners on all the Pepsi product. Not one of these morons was ever a member of the actual Conservative Party, the party of John A. Macdonald and John George Diefenbaker. They literally are conservative in name only. And if elected, this band of idiots will return to government and do what they did before. What they've always done. Spend a lot of time pointing and yelling while they cut taxes for oil companies, hack away at everything Canadians depend on, suppress science and dissent, run up massive debts with wasteful gazebos and Canada Action Plan signs, while moving from one election fraud and financial scandal to another. And unlike the Liberal so-called scandals, there will be charges laid. Again, as was the case last time, because conservatives actually are criminals. And then, this lot of grifters will hypocritically claim they are the party of fiscal accountability, transparency, and something not one of them is familiar with: common sense. In short, it's a party of bullshit. And now this. Does anyone else smell that? Get up, you bastard. Come on. I'm guessing he got a big dose.
I mean, actually, that was somewhat blissful.
What's going on? No idea, Bear. 1 minute we were in the studio, and the next we are here.
There was gas, I remember that.
A gas leak?
Not good, I think. Although Sir Pat did have cabbage at lunch.
Where are we?
Is this thing on? Elon, is this thing on or what? I don't see anything.
Is that...
What do you mean? Just talk. No, I don't care what they look like. Can they see me?
Oh,
They can? Okay, here we go.
a hologram. That's interesting technology I thought was well beyond what America was capable of. Yeah, it must be that Martian they've got working for them. What's his name again? Muskrat? Something like that?
It is I, your glorious, shirtless leader, donOLD Jessica Drumpf, here to tell you that you've been removed from the airwaves for my safety. And not just my safety, but the safety of the free world, of which I am its greatest protractor, protector, and defender.
What now?
My friend Vlad gave me access to all these glags, and you've been put in one until we decide how to dispose of you properly.
Excuse me, Glag? Can you spell that?
Glag, G-U-L-A-G person camera.
Gulag?
Glag, grab, kulag, hey kulig. It doesn't matter how you say it, and I say it the best when I say you're in it, and not to worry, at least for me, because we've got things covered, and they're better now. Better than they were under crooked Joe Biden, don't check. Or Comrade Kamala Chameleon.
You can't do this. We're a streaming service, and we're out of Canada.
Did it and done.
How long were we out?
Taken care of when you became my 51st state.
51st state? When did that happen? But our subscribers will notice.
We've taken care of that too. I got rid of all the pluses, the Disney Plus, the Paramount Plus, Decibel Plus, and the Max. Oh, we hate the Max. Don't we hate the Max, folks? We hate the Max.
Who is he talking to? Is he still doing rallies?
I fixed everything, and it's better now. Better than it was under crooked Joe Biden.
You got elected already.
And better than it would have been under Comrade Kamalama Ding Dong.
People will notice, right?
Well, it depends on what they've replaced us with, I suppose. One would hope people would notice a difference.
Thank you for choosing Azud Raeb Minus, the interweb's best streaming service. Don't bother to check that. Obey. You will now join regular programming already in progress, and you will like it. Or else, the cat gets it.
And a hearty welcome to our new viewers throughout the Americas, as well as those in parts of Saskatchewan. I'm your host, Azud Raeb, and this is the Azud Raeb Report. We start off with our No Spin Zone segment. Specifically, the spin I am stopping is the one where people are claiming something because of the names given it. No tires are made in Canada despite the name. Just as I am told, there is no actual chicken in KFC, which is why they switched to the initials that could mean anything. Yeah, including that. There is old saying which goes, sticks and stones have broken bones, but all name calling does is expose the ignorance of the one calling the names. And speaking of evil lies, the glorious shirtless leader, Vladimir Putin, ooh la la, is upset with his accordion-playing monkey, donOLD Trump, who keeps referring to Biden's designated Hitler, Madam Harris, as Comrade Harris. This must stop immediately. For one, is not accurate. Kamala, whatever her name is, she is no one's comrade. A comrade is a designation of honor reserved only for the most loyal of associates to the motherland, which she is absolutely not. donOLD Trump, on the other hand, definitely a comrade. Besides, there is a far more obscene name that does apply to Madam VIP Harris, and that is liberal. Why would anyone try to elevate a dirty, stinking liberal, even the word leaves a slime in mouth, with the time-honored moniker of comrade? He is beyond comprehension. The same goes for Canada's next Prime Minister, Pierre what is with these names? This dishonorable slick parrot of a liar has been calling existing leader and Canadian idol Justine Trudeau a socialist and a fascist. As a card-carrying member of the Universal Soviet Socialist Republic, I take great exception to any attempt associating the glorious revolution of socialism with something as vile as fascism. But this Pigeon Pierre, as he is called everywhere on the interwebs, keeps repeating his slanders, saying that the Nazis are socialists because it is right there in name. Yes, Nazi is short for National Socialist, and they did call themselves socialist. But Hitler was no more socialist than Pepsi would be Coke if they changed the label. Fascism is the fanaticism of the state above the individual, while socialism is the individual as a collective of the state. It is totally opposite. And no true socialist would disregard the needs of the collective for their own benefit. Isn't that right, glorious shirtless leader? Vlad, call me. I love you. Of course, it is understandable that PPPR would confuse socialism with fascism. After all, he is a graduate of the University of Alberta, a education center renowned for not owning dictionary. And he is leader of what is ironically called Canada's Conservative Party, even though they have nothing in common with any conservative movement in history. In fact, Woof, that is a tongue twister, is nothing more than a lying populist reformer who was cloned from the very DNA of Preston Manning. Which means he is incapable of understanding what actual conservatism is, since Preston fought against the Conservative Party his entire career. We who know what is right and proper must fight against the misuse and abuse of words for political purposes. Otherwise, those fascists in Ukraine will win the special military operation against the freedom-loving illiberal state of Mother Russia, and then dogs will begin marrying cats. And who in their right mind wants that? Huh? Vlad has spoken. What do you mean he's actually calling Ukraine a war now? When did this happen? Oh, why am I not given memos? Oh.
Coming up on Azud Raeb Minus, a new episode of Required Viewing with your host, Comrade Old Goat and Hoodlum Penguin.
La 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 la. Note, comrade children, how the ship of state rests safely on the seas of Mother Russia, thanks in part to the glorious sacrifice your fathers have made defending our homeland from the evil fascists of Ukraine.
Fun times!
Oh, hey, comrade port official!
Ahoy, Comrade Dactyl. It is a fine night, don't you agree?
Yeah, it seems a bit bleak, actually.
Not at all, comrade. Darkness provides a clarity and encourages self-reflection.
But I can't see my mirror in the dark.
Don't be bourgeois, comrade. Mirror should be covered as sign of respect for those defending our homeland from the evil fascists of Ukraine.
Bourgeois? Bourgeois, bless you.
You, comrade, are a suspected capitalist.
I know you are, comrade, but what am I?
Let me aboard. I need to inspect your boat for contraband.
What?
Don't I get a vote in this?
Niet.
Sorry, comrade port official, but I need to make like a Toronto hockey team.
What meaning that?
It's time to leave.
Hey, come back here. You can't do that. I get you.
Be on the lookout for Comrade Dactyl's freedom boat. If you see it, call your local authorities and do not approach. He is corrupt and dangerous. And now is time for the captive giant.
Here we are inside, where there are many normal chairs for all of you and much bigger chairs for our glorious shirtless leader, Vladimir Putin, because all of us are equal, my friends, but some are more equal than others. There. Now, look up. Look way up. And I'm the captive giant, still contained in this gloriously comfortable and not at all dank cell to atone for the crimes against the state which I committed on things we're not permitted to discuss. Okay? Now we'll call Comrade Chicken. Oh, Comrade Chicken, time to come and cock-a-doodle-doo for your friend, the captive giant. Chicken? I wonder what happened to our friend. Hey, Giant. Hey, Comrade Giraffe. Have you seen Comrade Chicken? Not since the secret police took him last night. Secret police? Goodness, what for? Something about having a book of completely made-up crimes committed by 34-time convicted felon of American puppet state Donald Trump. Should you be telling me that, Comrade? You're already in the gulag, Giant. What can you do? Yes, but so is Comrade Chicken, and his bag is right there. Huh. Never occurred to me there was someplace worse than a gulag. Oh shoot, the chicken must have implicated me. Must go, Giant. Good luck, comrade. Good luck, comrade.
Later on Azud Raeb Minus, Puppets and Potatoes with Natasha Verminsky. And even later tonight on Azud Raeb Minus, the cinema mass presentation of Vlad and I, the heartwarming tale of our glorious shirtless leader's ascent to the undying admiration and love of all that is true and proper in Mother Russia, and his comradeship with one of the many useless stepping stools he had to bootstrap himself on the back of to get there. Caution, should not be viewed near open 7th-story window. And now, Master Debaters, with your host Azud Raeb and his guest panelist, Capitalist Better Fool. Tonight, we discuss the folly of free elections.
Welcome to Master Debaters. I am your host and voice of common sense, Azud Raeb. And speaking nonsense for all things liberal will be my opponent,
what's
Duza.
going on? How is this happening?
Tonight, we discuss the folly of free elections and go.
What?
Free elections. I presume you are in favor of them?
Yes, of course.
Why?
What are you talking about? If people are going to participate in a society and pay taxes for it, then they absolutely have a right to elect members to represent their interests.
Yeah, but that does not happen.
Of course it does.
No.
The whole America concept of taxation without representation is predicated on it.
But the members that are elected put the interest of the ruling elite and their donors above that of their voters. There is no system in the world where that is not the case.
Well,
studies and polls show that 85% of Americans believe abortion should be legal. 64% of Americans support stricter gun laws, and between 64 and 70% of Americans say they want single-payer universal health care. Yet, in 2024 general election, they overwhelmingly elected a party that not only campaigned to dismantle all of that, but as it indicated they intend to suspend the Constitution and end elections once and for all. Even your country, where an overwhelming majority of Canadians support universal health care, pharmacare, childcare, dental care, school lunches, environmental action, and where 78% of Canadians, including 67% of Conservatives, want the CBC broadcaster to continue, and 67% of Canadians feel a politician who refuses a security clearance has something to hide and isn't qualified to lead Canada. Even that country is about to make Pierre Paul a foreign-backed agent who is not able to pass a security background check, who is a corporate stooge for grocery and pharmacy interests that have been gouging consumers and caused much of the inflation Trudeau was blamed for, and an oil and gas puppet who has stated he will cancel all social programs to create corporate tax breaks. Even that man, a man who has indicated he'll use the notwithstanding clause to suspend human rights on issues his party supports, like ending abortion, even your liberal nation of Canada is going to make this vile human its prime integer. How is that democratic?
Yeah, but it's more complicated than that. A lot of people are simply frustrated with how slow and painful the post-pandemic recovery has been, and they blame Trudeau for all of it, even the bits he clearly had no control over, or even when he did a much better job mitigating it than other countries have.
Yep, so you admit it.
Admit what?
Well, since voters are stupid and will elect representatives who clearly oppose their best interests, free elections are a waste of time and money.
Well, ours will cost nearly $500 million this year.
And democracy does not work.
That's depressing, isn't it?
I win.
Azud Raeb Minus now presents the following capitalist news program without edits or interruptions because they are just like us.
Welcome to Fox and Friends. I'm your host, Steve Douchebag. I'm your other host, Kevin Just Kill Me.
And I'm white.
Boy, that Pierre Poilievre is our kind of guy, huh?
Yup, Trump loving and oily just like we love him.
You know who else we really like?
Vladimir Putin.
If you're watching, hi Vlad. Hi, we love you. We love you.
Oh, look, we've got a caller.
Oh, yay.
Hello, Mr. President. How are you today?
Oh, very bad. Very bad. The fake news are all over me like spiders biting everyone they can find because their normal food source has been depleted.
Specific.
That's rather specific.
Have you been watching horror movies again, Mr. President?
No, Barron said it was a documentary because he knows that's what I like. I want to spend time with the kid, but his taste in documentaries are weird.
Is weird, Mr. President.
Documentaries?
It was old and grainy, like a documentary, about a horde of tarantulas who turn aggressive due to pesticides having depleted their normal food sources. That never happened when I was president, let me tell you. Oh, and it had Captain Kirk in it.
Ooh, I like him.
Mr. President, I believe you were watching the movie Kingdom of the Spiders.
Yeah, that's it. Kingdom of the Spiders. We now join Hour 3 of Fox and Friends, still in progress. And let me tell you, I forgot where it was happening. New Mexico, I think, because they were illegally coming over the border. But ever since Comrade Kamalama Ding Dong was elected with Crooked Joe, there are spiders everywhere, and they're biting people to death because their normal food sources are depleted. They even bit Captain Kirk during a planetary mission, and he died. I saw it. It was horrible.
I wonder if MSDNC is hiring.
Azud Raeb Minus now concludes our program day. Thank you for watching Azud Raeb. Azud Raeb is watching you.
We've got to get out of here. Yeah, but how?
To be continued. Maybe.